What's up, Title Tribe? Welcome back to another Dynasty rookie mock draft with myself and Mike. Back to our usual Wednesday time, which I seemingly works a little bit better for everyone because we
Yes,
pretty
sure
easily
seems
filled it
like
up
it.
this time. But yeah, excited to get into it. We're doing Superflex tight end premium, I believe.
Yep. Putting the sleeper. There you go. The draft on the board. Oh, you got the 101, you sly dog.
Did you already randomize it?
No, we're gonna let people have their spots today. So you did
Okay.
this to yourself now.
I don't think I would have done that if I'd known, but that's okay. I think I had the 101 last time. Or no, I had the
no,
12.
I did. I
Yeah.
think you had
I had the
somewhere
last
near me. You and I usually end up very close
one.
when we randomize for some reason. All right. Let's hit this. Well, first of all, let's turn the noise off because that always seems to get me before I forget. And then start the draft. And there we go.
All right.
Drink my cola is on the clock.
No decision to make here. Caleb Williams, as usual, the 101.
Zero Fox to give is on the clock. I was very careful with the way I said that because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to curse, but
Jaden Daniels at the 102. That's
yeah, I think everybody's like the top four picks are going to kind of be like pick your poison when it comes to the quarterbacks. Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors. I know that's your guy. Oh, that's me. Damn right. I have to do it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I was watching him again today. Um, I decided to do some scoring. I think I talked to you about it for film grades for called the Dynasty Dog Score. So I have like dog mentality as part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his film grade, he got an 8.4 for me out of 10.
Okay.
So that's pretty solid. It takes into account like physicality, contested catch, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like I was tempted to give him like tens in the contested catch and stuff like that categories, but like I just felt weird doing that because he was literally winning. It felt like all of those, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's
No,
crazy.
he's he's special when it comes to those like making catches in tight coverage.
Mm-hmm.
All that he's one of the best I've seen at that. I'm kind of been working on a wide receiver charting like methodology,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I've been trying it out on like a few of the top prospects. So I have a thing where it's uh, the number of targets and then like catches and everything they have versus tight coverage and or like against contact without having to without it being like a crazy super high difficulty catch, just tight coverage or contact.
Mm-hmm.
And Odunze was 15 for 15 on those.
That's now. Does that concern you in regards to separation? Maybe.
No, I don't think so. They were mostly like back shoulder routes.
Yeah.
They're like designed to kind of be like that. Got Sicko Squid on auto pick. Come on,
I
man.
mean, you can't really be mad at a guy that got the auto pick for Malik Neighbors. I mean, that was kind of coming no matter what.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I'm hungry to kick some ass, says Grant. Me
Hell
too. I'm always, I'm here to kick some ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
yeah. Tyler in the sleeper chat. Surprised Bowers came off so late in tight end premium. Yeah, I am too.
I've seen that's. I think that's kind of been where he's gone in most of. Although we haven't really specified whether in a lot of them whether they have been tight end premium or not.
Yeah,
So I think maybe one or two picks earlier would have probably been right. But, Neighbors got pushed back. May got pushed back a spot. So could be part of it.
yeah. I'm honestly like in tight end premium, depending on how like big the tight end bonus is,
Mm-hmm.
Like I think you could make an argument for him like after Caleb and like I guess Marv.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I think then you can immediately make an argument for him if he gets a good landing spot at least.
He's so damn good. Like you don't have to worry about him coming off the field, which is great.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy at the 1.9.
I like with Bowers how I feel like he's a good blocker, but he's not like a really dominant blocker where I'm worried that like that's a team is going to take him and like make him do that too much to where it'll hurt his fantasy value. He's just like exactly as good at blocking as like he's not like a Kittle level where they might just use him as a 6th offensive lineman for some games.
Right. He's got what's the word? He's got the technique. He might just be a little small. I think he, like you said, he's very good at it.
Definitely.
Adonai Mitchell. So I watched him again this week, and I got to say he's better than I remember. I'll let you pick first before I get into this.
Yep. Let's see. Ooh, I don't like this board, to be honest. Did you see Xavier Worthy's reception perception?
No, did that come out?
It did.
All right, I'll pull that up after I pick.
I'm gonna take him.
Okay.
This is the first reception perception profile that's come out this year where it hasn't aligned with what I saw on film.
So is it bad? Is that what you're telling me?
I wouldn't say bad, but not as good. He was pretty like middle of the road, and all of the first press numbers were bad, which I wasn't surprised by. But yeah, he was like, I'll pull up the actual percentiles.
But what I was saying with Mitchell, I went back and watched him this week, and so he was just a lot better than I remember. But the dude has no second gear whatsoever. Like, every time he did something good, it felt like he took 6 plays off afterwards. And it just got super irritating to the point where like I wanted to move him up because he looked so good.
Yeah.
But like the amount of plays he took off were just absolutely asinine to me. And you can't tell me, I mean, I'm not saying you do, but in general, I'm just saying this as a general statement. You can't tell me he doesn't take plays off.
Yeah.
Like it's noticeable. Very noticeable. He's jogging. And which is really weird also, it seems like when it's zone coverage, if you go watch him, when it's zone coverage, it seems more likely than not he's jogging. But when he's pressed, he seems much more engaged, which I don't know what the difference really is, but it was surprising.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's no doubt he takes plays off. I don't think anybody would really argue with that. Mm-hmm. I will say, I think, because I see it with Xavier Worthy too, where he takes plays off.
See, that's the thing. I heard somebody else say that too, and I didn't notice that. But maybe I got to go. I'm thinking of going back and watching him anyway, so it's going to be.
It's not as egregious as Mitchell, but I think a big part of it is the Texas offense. It's like a lot of half-field reads where like guys will be running routes and they're not even a part of the progression. Mm-hmm. And they're just not running full speed because they aren't really a part of the play. And then every once in a while you see Ewers like work through his progressions and get to the route that isn't technically in the progression, and then he'll throw it to him and Mitchell will like not even be running and it'll be an incomplete pass.
Right.
Right. So like I feel like when he is in the progression, I feel like he's engaged, and he also in an interview he said that he doesn't run all of his routes full speed because he wants to be able to at the end of drives.
Yeah, that bothers the hell out of me. I heard that too.
Yeah, it's weird.
I am looking at Worthy's reception perception now, like you mentioned. It's, I wouldn't say alarming, but again, I agree with you. It's not what I saw.
Yeah.
Which I think, and I feel like I said this to somebody on Twitter the other day, watching film, like depending on the way you're looking at it, the way you evaluate, it's all subjective. Because like you and I have different feelings on certain players. You know, you and somebody else are going to have different opinions on certain players. It's just all subjective.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of surprised with some of these. The success on dig routes is kind of surprising, to be honest. I don't know why.
I think one of the things I was thinking about with him is since he struggles so much with physicality, and also because his press success rate is so low, that because the press numbers also go into the man numbers. So low press numbers will bring down the man numbers. Whereas
Right.
like if you just extrapolated his like off man success rate, it would probably be pretty good.
Right. No, that's yeah.
But and just with him not dealing with physicality well in general, like at the top of routes too, when he does have space, his routes look really clean, and he knows how to get open. He knows how to beat guys.
Sink his hips. Like he's got all of that.
Yeah, really, he's a nuanced route runner. He like understands leverage and all that. Yeah,
I do love that 212 pick, by the way. Marshawn Lloyd. Yeah, I love that pick right there.
JT Sanders at the 211 and tight end premium, I think, is really good as well.
Yeah, so do I. I agree with that. I got to watch a little bit more on him, but he definitely scored less athletically than I thought he was going to.
Yeah.
I am loving my draft right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I like that too. Odunze and McConkey's a nice little flag. I think I don't have my rankings up for some reason, but I believe they are telling me to take Jalen Wright. I think that's what it means.
You son of a zero fucks to give. Just did that on purpose. I know it.
I thought about taking taking him or Corley just because you're in a few picks, but
yeah. Let's see. I want to see who's still on the board. To be honest, I am not the biggest fan of sleeper on the laptop.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like it's not that. Maybe it's just because it's different for me. I don't know because I'm so used to doing it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, what is this? Are we kidding?
It's all right. Your boy Malachi Corley's still there.
I need to stop like talking about people. Apparently, no, I'm kidding. Because I mentioned Vidal yesterday on the episode that we did for the NFL draft on Toilets and Titles as well. I shouted his name out. I mean, that could just be coincidence. Maybe this person's a Vidal fan, but it's surprising he went before Braylon Allen. I don't think I've ever seen that, but I love it.
I've definitely never seen that.
I love it, to be honest with you. I would do the same thing. Like I currently have Allen ahead of him in my rankings, but I think if I were to go watch more film on Vidal, I think I could definitely change that.
Yeah, I think I like Vidal's film more, but like if you're doing that, and if you're doing a dynasty draft, the dynasty rookie draft, like before the actual NFL draft, like we are right now, which some people do that, but Braylon Allen's gonna get drafted before Kamani Vidal. Like
you would think so, right?
Yeah, like he's probably gonna go reasonably early, just because he is so young and he's got all the physical stuff.
The school too, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Whereas, I can agree with that, but it wouldn't shock me if Vidal's a 4th round pick.
Yeah, no, I could see that for sure, especially with just how weak the
running back classes.
Yeah, Trip Crown in the chat says that he got Braylon Allen at the 305 in his pre-NFL draft, rookie draft, and Vidal fell all the way to the 5th round.
Wow. 305 for Allen seems. We'd have to go back and look, but that feels right. That what we've done recently, like in the drafts.
Yeah.
Vidal in like the 4th or 5th has definitely been fourth round in our drafts. And I think it's been me who's taken him every single time. But that does seem about consensus the way that I've seen it happen. But I love seeing Vidal before Allen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jaheim Bell. Tight end premium in the late 3rd. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I feel like people are not. None of these tight ends are going. I don't think are very excited about this tight end class.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but I went out and traded. Well, it was a 2025 3rd I gave up for Daniel Bellinger. I do really like Daniel Bellinger, and I think the rumors of Darren Waller like retiring are scary. So, and if Daniel Jones is the quarterback, he seems to really like Daniel Bellinger as well. So,
Yeah.
to be honest, I wouldn't mind throwing out some, late thirds, mid thirds, his direction, because this tight end class is not great, especially in tight end premium.
Yeah.
Let's see what you do here. There's a couple people still on my board.
I am going to. I mean, yeah, if these tight ends just aren't going to go, I'm going to go with my tight end 3, Cade Stover.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just like a really solid player. I think he probably has like one of the highest chances to just be a starting tight end for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Really good hands, decent enough route runner. Solid.
I do got to watch a little bit more on the tight ends. God damn it. This dude is just absolutely just destroying me out here.
That's funny.
No, I mean, Bucky Irving in the 4th round just seems like crazy good value. That's just me. I know you're not his biggest fan, but I don't know. In the 4th round, I think that's just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, once you get to the 4th round, it's just whatever your flavor is.
All right, this is tough for me. Actually, it's not really that tough, just based on where I have him. I'm going to go with Audric Estime because I think he's going to get decent draft capital just because of the NFL. He might be a better NFL running back than a fantasy running back, but if he's going to get 3rd or 4th round capital, it might end up being okay for fantasy purposes.
Yeah. I know it was auto pick, but Ben's not also, and Theo Johnson within the 4th round of a tight end premium draft, I think is good.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I thought about Sanat. It was between Estime, Sanat, Thresh, and Devontae Walker still there.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising.
That's crazy. Luke McCaffrey, I feel like he doesn't usually get drafted in these.
No, but I've seen his name on Twitter a few times this week.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good football player. Like he just, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you can just tell, like, he just like understands the game. And like, he's only been playing the position for like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
He was
I did see him. I saw him down at the Senior Bowl. He didn't really like jump out, but he was just like doing things. You know what I mean? Like, again, like kind of like you mentioned, just being a good football player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a pretty big quarterback recruit. Went to Nebraska, was really bad. Then he transferred to Rice and played receiver. And a friend of mine's brother actually played football at Rice with Luke McCaffrey, and he said he was like the best player he's ever played with.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could see that for sure. I could absolutely see that, especially with the name McCaffrey. You have to have some kind of football chops, I would imagine.
Yes.
Devontae Walker in the 4th round, like I just have this really strange feeling he's going to get higher draft capital than we imagine. I think the NFL loves speed and athleticism, and he has all of that. He's just got to put it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, would you say, like, if you were to look at Christian Watson coming out into the draft, would you see him as a 2nd round pick?
I was not a big fan of Watson coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't too surprised that he went that high.
Okay. So would it shock you if we're looking at Walker and Watson together, they're very similar. Would you be surprised if Walker got kind of around the same draft capital? Maybe not early 2nd, but later 2nd, maybe early 3rd.
In this draft, I think I would be.
Okay. That was still a pretty good draft too, though.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think it was nearly as deep as this one. If Walker was in that draft, then I could see that having happened. I also there weren't too many there were not as many big vertical receivers.
I could agree with that. That was one. Yeah. Okay. You're probably right with that. I could agree with that. It was Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, Treylon Burks, Drake London. Who am I missing from that draft? Jamison Williams, who was another one.
Dotson.
Jameson Williams, what a flop
More.
so far.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams is a flop. I actually posted on Twitter today. I don't know if you see it. Who would you rather have, Dontavian Wicks or Jameson Williams in your dynasty team?
Dante. I would still probably go Jameson Williams. I like a lot, but
it's just the draft capital, like the really early, draft capital for Jameson's going to keep his like dynasty value alive,
and going to give him a lot of opportunities to succeed with the Lions.
Yeah, exactly.
I also just that receiver room is just so crowded in Green Bay.
Who's shout out to Nick Wagman, and Rice is awful at football.
Yeah, Nick Wagman's that's the Rice football player I was talking about.
Oh, okay. And then shut up Grant, and then Pickens.
Yeah,
it's getting a little heated in the chat this evening. Love to see it. And I hope that's a pro Pickens tweet or a pro Pickens comment, not an anti Pickens comment.
I think he was just mentioning his name along in that draft class.
I'll never forget Pickens in that draft class. That's my man.
Johnny Wilson at the 411, Malik Washington at the 412. Got some quarterbacks going in the 4th.
Joe Milton and Travis, yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, and this might be a hot take, I would take Michael Pratt over both of them.
Yeah.
I think he's just an overall better passer than both of those players.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't think I would waste my time with any of them.
No, I agree. But if you're going to take a quarterback in that spot,
yeah,
if you feel like you need to add a quarterback to your team, and you want to throw a 4th round dart throw on it, okay. But I would much rather take a shot on Pratt because I think he has backup quarterback. Of what's the word? Like he could come in and be a starter for an injured quarterback. You know what I mean? Not like the full-time starter, but could, be a difference maker for a few weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could see that. He's a guy. And we've got some brutal stuff in the chat. But the Michael Pratt, yeah, I think he'll have a job as a backup for a long time. Whereas I could see Milton being on the St. Louis Battlehawks next year. Travis, I think will likely stick around, maybe
for a little bit. Yeah,
but, all right,
that injury is concerning, though.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think about favorite team in this one?
So I'm not gonna lie, like I really like my team. Like I hate to be that. Like I normally don't throw my name in the ring for this, but I really do. Yeah. I mean, obviously yours is very solid as well. You got Caleb Williams and Xavier Worthy. Like Worthy's my wide receiver 5 of the class, and getting him at the 2-1 seems like just a smash. I really like 1-7 as well. 1-7, the 7th pick overall, not just 1-7. Yeah. I like Polk, Burton, and Walker with Bowers. I think that's solid. I'm not going to give Wicked any praises. Who do you like here?
Well, I will give Wicked a praise.
No.
Coleman, as much as I don't like Roman Wilson, the 308 for like the draft capital that it seems like he's probably going to get, I think is great value. And there's really, McMillan is probably the only receiver that went after who I would take above Wilson.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Coleman at the 2.8 is great. And then Thomas at the 108 is right where I would take him.
Coleman really has dropped, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like I dropped him in my rankings, but like I'm surprised he's dropped that far. Like what are we talking about here in regards to wide receivers off the board? So we got 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, hold on.
I don't think I've ever seen Jalen Polk over Coleman.
Which I don't hate, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My screen's 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 wide receivers over Coleman is kind of like I don't know if we've had that happen yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I think I have him as wide receiver 10 in my own.
Yeah, so do I actually. That's weird that you mentioned that. but I don't have Polk or Coleman or Polk or Leggett over him.
Yeah, I have Polk a few spots behind, but in the same.
I have him one spot behind, actually. I like Polk a lot.
Ben in the chat says, the Sicko Squid, what a squad, the auto pick fella.
Yeah, I mean,
305 is crazy.
Yeah. But, I mean, the other 3 picks are very solid.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously, Neighbors, Benson, and Sanat are very good. I do like 112, too. Franklin, Lloyd, Davis, and Washington. Yeah. I haven't watched too much Malik Washington, to be fair, but, like, I know he's a very good football player from what I've seen and heard about him, especially what he was the Shrine Bowl guy, right? I believe.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
The Shrine Bowl standout, I think he was, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy. He wasn't at the Senior Bowl. He led the country in catches.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, I mean Zay Flowers was at the Shrine Bowl last year, not the Senior Bowl. So it's everyone. I think they put like one real big name at the Shrine Bowl, and everybody else goes to the Senior Bowl. Maybe I don't know. Yes, Shrine. So Trip Crown got my back on that one. Thank you.
Washington's a fun watch.
He is, from my understanding and what the small things I've seen.
Yeah, it can be a little. I get frustrated watching guys like that on tape sometimes. Like Corley was another one where they just don't have, like, they're not asking him to actually run routes, and I'm like, I want to see, like, I know you probably can do it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I felt like Corley looked better at the Senior Bowl running routes than he did on film. So, and I guess that must have been the case for Malik Washington because I kept hearing good things about him down there at the Shrine Bowl.
I think he runs good routes. It's a lot of screen passes, a lot of like little flat leak outs, that kind of thing. He's really good after the catch. He's probably one of the better after the catch guys in the class.
So would you, real quick question, would you say Roman Wilson is the best value of this draft?
Not for my money.
Yeah, that's who I'm looking to see who else it would be, because I know you mentioned Rome there was a good pick.
No, I like that. I think for a lot of people that'll be a really good value. I mean, somebody even in the sleeper chat said you guys hate Roman Wilson, and I said yes, I do.
I know you do. I know you do. I watched a little bit of him this week, and I was a little bit more impressed. But again, it's just that Michigan offense is strange.
I don't think we've gone through a draft yet where I don't say that I think Jermaine Burton is a great value. But I still do with the 307. I
think he's going to end up. I think he's going to end up in our early third rookie draft soon.
Maybe depends on draft capital for him, especially with NFL teams maybe not being so excited about his personality.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I heard that about Malik Neighbors too recently, which. We're at that season. I think NFL teams are just using smoke screens at this point.
Yeah, I saw that. The only account I saw actually tweet that is like one of those Twitter accounts that
just tweet anything to stick at a wall.
Yeah,
that's so annoying.
The worst.
And I always fall for it too because I don't see who it is at first, and I'm like, oh wow, and then I look up, I'm like, never mind.
I just like block all those accounts honestly because I don't even want that. I saw another one of those accounts had somebody put together or took 3 screenshots of 3 different tweets that were all the exact same thing.
Oh, just I did see that.
The Commanders are going to take Jaden Daniels. The Commanders are going to take Drake May. The Commanders are going to take JJ McCarthy.
One of those is going to be right, I guess, right?
Then they can just delete the other 2 tweets and be like, well, look at me.
I still do love Bucky Irving at the 4-2, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think Baker is, again, I've been singing his praises for a while. I do think we're going to see him in the second round of our rookie draft soon. So I think 3-2 is decent. I do like your Burton call out. And McMillan, man, like, I don't know what I want to do with him in regards to dynasty drafts. Like, I don't know. Like, I like the pick at 3-9. I don't know if it's going to get any higher than that. Is what I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's just hard with I think that everything from like the 2 I really like the third round on, like, is going to be all jumbled up, just depending on who you're in a draft, who's in your draft, because like the opinions seem to be so wide ranging.
Right.
And I think so many of these receivers are going to get like good enough draft capital to where you're not like worried. Like last year, like a lot of people, somebody with very wide opinions was like Zach Evans.
Right. Oh, yeah.
He goes in the 6th round, and then suddenly it's like, okay, like as much as I liked him, like you're like, all right, I guess I'll take him in the 4th round or the late 3rd or whatever of dynasty drafts. Right. Whereas like I don't know that that's going to happen with many of these receivers.
No, I don't think so either. Like I do think that there's a possibility they get pushed back a little bit just because of the depth that there is at the position. But I don't think it's going to be to the point where it's like 6th round for, you know, a lot of guys that we like. I'm just looking at the 3rd round, like you mentioned. There are some really good, just in general, value in the 3rd round this year that I'm excited about. Like I don't think the 3rd round this year. All right, I don't think I remember a 3rd round being as good as this year.
Yeah.
I don't think. I could be way off. Like Tajay Spears was a 3rd round pick last year, but I think that was mostly just because of the injury concerns. But I don't think there's just as a talent level 3rd round that I've liked more than this.
Yeah, I agree. If I had like a late 2nd and I could trade that back for like the 3-0 like 6 and the 3-10 or something, or like what, I don't know what they would take, but like
right, I get what you're saying,
or like something, I would do that because I mean I love Pearsall, but like outside of that, like if I'm at, can you scroll over?
Yeah, sorry.
So like, yeah, say I'm at the 211 there. Like to me, at that point, there's no difference between who I would be taking there and like some of these guys going in like the mid to late 3rd.
I could agree with that.
And like
I do love Marshawn Lloyd though.
Yeah, it would, and there will always be people in your rookie drafts who think like, or like there is one guy in that group who's like, oh, that's the one I have above everyone else. Whereas like always try and just get to the back of a tier.
Right. See, I've been thinking, because I have the 110 in a 1 quarterback league. Obviously, that's a little bit different than what we're looking at, and the well dries up a lot quicker in those. I've been thinking of moving back. Like if I could get like a 2-1 and another 2 and maybe a 3rd, I think I'd be okay with that. But like, it's hard with 1 quarterback because the amount of like talent that's just going to fly. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be no quarterbacks that are going to jump in besides maybe one that are going to, you know, add more value to the wide receivers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know where quarterbacks go in 1 quarterback dynasty leagues.
So I took Anthony Richardson last year at the 110, and that was the first quarterback off the board.
Okay.
And that's just because he's got the highest upside, just rushing. I could see Caleb in a 1 quarterback league going anywhere from 1.7 to 110 just because of the name and the 1-1 pick.
Yeah.
But Bryce and Stroud didn't go till the middle and late 2nd.
Okay. Yeah, I guess in 1 quarterback you're more just worried about like the absolute upside.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people thought of Stroud as maybe like a
safe floor.
Yeah, like a, you know, just like imagining what like Kirk Cousins has been in fantasy for the last however many years, where it's just like he's QB 13 like forever.
Right.
Well, all right. You said you wanted to get out of here, so you gotta get up.
Yeah. These 4:30 in the mornings are kicking my butt a little bit.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think I could handle that.
Yeah, you get used to it after a little while, but it's, you know, it's just the dogs are for whatever reason waking me up an hour earlier. So it's like 3:30 and I'm like, bro, come on.
It's like normally at 3:30 you can then go back to sleep, but at that point,
yeah, exactly. Like they're not being very dynasty doggish to me.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone who drafted with us and everyone who watched. We appreciate it. We will be back again next week, I believe.
Yes. Yep.
I'm excited to do these after the NFL draft.
Yeah. I was wondering, I mean, we'll talk about it off the air. We'll see if we maybe want to take a break a week or a week before the draft. So we'll see. We'll talk about that just to kind of let things like steam up a little bit.
We
love you too, Grant. I don't know who you are, but we love you.
Yeah, like I don't think we need to do this like the day before the NFL draft.
No,
like Wednesday.
I'd be too stressed out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm ready for it at this point.
Yep. All right. Well, again, thanks for joining, everybody, and we'll hopefully see you next week. Peace.
Have a good one.